examinations in September 2026 and become a CA finalist. You might have questions within yourself asking, is both the groups possible in writing both the groups? Is it possible? And all of those things. Just remove the question from your mind. It is absolutely possible. It's actually possible because this video is the solution for your attempt, and it's going to be absolutely successful. So let's now discuss about how it's possible and what do we do, and how do we clear our September 2026 examination. I'm going to write both the groups. How do I do that? And here are the strategies as to how do we do. Here's the plan. And in the month of April, if we look at the month of April, we have like 27 days, which is 26 or 27 based on the video. And May, in the month of May, we have 31, June, 30 days, and then July, 31 days. And then finally, in the month of August, we have around 31 days. You can count 1 or 2 days in the month of September. So altogether, it comes around 150 days in the month of, in terms of days, it is actually 150 days. And if we talk about hours, if let's say we read around 10 hours a day, 10 hours is easily like doable, and then it's going to be 1500 hours in total. And then let's say we remove like 250 hours from it, the days that we're tired, that we're exhausted, and we're unmotivated, or we're sleepy. You can remove all those days, which is like the time is absolutely waste. So we have effective hours of around 1250 hours. This is the effective hours that we can actually study, that we would have actually studied. So, you might be aware of this rule called 1000 hours rule, which is like absolutely powerful. If you want to master in anything, they say, the 10,000 hour rule. But then you want to become proficient at something, 1000 hours is more than enough. And then we have 1250 hours, which is like incredible. And you can, absolutely do it, with your plan and your strategies. 1250 effective hours. There's also another important aspect. How are we doing it? How do we do it, and what are the strategies, and what are the simple steps to in order to for us in achieving this huge feat? How do we do this, clearing both the groups, and how do we do it like two groups? What are the subjects that we have? Auditing, we have FMSM, we have costing, and we have we have we have income tax and GST. So all these subjects, we have advanced accounts, we have law. All these is which comes up around 8 subjects altogether. Is the approach. So firstly, I would like to I would like everyone to do something called, for the deep work to come into play, of 1000 hours. First, let's read the text and understand the ICA material, and then you know it is one of the fundamental things that you can do. First read the text. It can be your self study, or it can be coaching. And then you have some questions inside the work where you have illustration questions. So you can solve them, try to understand them, and then solve the book questions. And then you have the book back questions, and then you have the practice questions, which can be your past questions papers. It can be your RTP, it can be your MTP, it can be your past test papers, and all of those things. And then finally, you have a test, which is like you might have subscribed to certain test series. You can make use of all those things. You have like chapter wise test series. You have unit wise test series. You have you know test series totally. You can make use of that one. And then the entire syllabus one, all of those things. You can have test series chapter wise, or it can be your coaching institute test series. Just make sure you do that thing. That's very important in achieving success. Next is articles, relevant articles. Let's say you study about something and you're getting bored of it, and then not only just getting bored of it, but in order to get that practical exposure, this relevant articles is very important. Most people will skip it, but it's very important that I'll anyways upload it on YouTube. And then finally we have the game changer, which is the end of the day's summary, which again, on completing every day's target, I'll be posting as to what I studied throughout the day. From the day one, we're going to start it. Let's say you're a complete beginner. This is going to be a game changer. Every day, at the end of the day, we're gonna do this. It's going to like completely boost our memory, like increase it incredibly. You're a person who tends to forget things easily. This is like a very good game for you to play at the end of the day. We move on to something called this is the fundamental things that you can do. Let's say, what do we do when let's say this is the usual thing that we do, but then there are certain days that we feel quite unmotivated. So what do we actually do when we're feeling like absolutely unmotivated, when we're feeling low and we want to give up? So these are the things which helps you to. These are certain tips which helps you to overcome that. The first thing is to do a 5 minute deep focus challenge. It's absolutely easy. It's just going to be a 5 minute deep focus, and within that you're going to like challenge yourself to focus, and then it'll give you it makes you go into something called flow state, and then it'll be absolutely incredible after that 5 minutes of deep focus. And next, you have something called solving your MCQs in the portal, which you anyways have in your ICI BOS portal. It helps you to assess yourself at the end of the day. Where do you stand? Let's say you're not motivated to study a certain chapter, and how do it helps you to assess yourself of where you stand. It helps you, it fears you and kind of motivates you in a good way, and then you actually get to study, and then it gives you an adrenaline rush. Okay, like you don't know what it is, and then now you saw where you stand, and gives you that adrenaline rush out of fear. It just motivates you as to to study a lot more from this particular topic. And then finally, we have something called practical knowledge. This again, like I told, I'll be sharing all these practical aspects. Something, how is it relevant to your practical life, this particular chapter? How is this going to be useful? And how will it add value to your to the field, to you? How this specific concept or chapter that you do not feel like reading right now, how is it going to add value? That itself is going to be a motivating factor, and you can sit down for learning. And I'll be uploading all these on YouTube as to how it's going to be useful, the practical aspects of it.